You can do better than that. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There we go. Shabbat Shalom, the words, two words that can change your life. Shabbat, which comes from the Hebrew lishbot, which means to, literally, lishbot, to cease, to rest, to stop doing what you're doing, and shalom. Shalom means peace. It means also hello and goodbye, depending on who you're talking to. But the challenge with shalom is that it beautifully comes from the word shlemut, which means wholeness and completeness. So if you actually can find shalom, if you can find peace, and if you can find a way to lishbot, to rest and get rid of the outside world, guess what? You can find wholeness and completeness and a sense of peace. It's something that our world so needs today. So with that, I'm Rabbi Larry Cernovitz. I'm the senior rabbi here at Kol Emeth with Kira Goldman and Hope Chernak, who are playing our music this evening. And as always, the amazing Rachel Barrich, our immediate past president, on tech tonight. So thank you, Rachel, for all that you do. So with that, we're going to begin with the words of Hine Ma Tov on page 10. But this is a family Shabbat as well. So how many words, if you look at the top of page 10, how many words do you see in this beautiful Hebrew pair? How many words? Who's going to be the first to tell me? How many words? Somebody call it out. Top of page 10, the words Hine Ma Tov. And even if you can't read Hebrew, it doesn't matter. Just count the words. 13. What? Hine Ma Tov Uma Naim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How many? 9 words. How many in a minyan? How many do you need to actually have a prayer service? 10. Who's the 10th? God is, and also who else? You are. You can be the 10th, which means you give people a sense of connection and community. But here's the powerful piece, is that hine means here, or how. Ma tov, how good. Umanayim, and how pleasant it is. Shevet is the word to sit or dwell. Achim, and this word is masculine in nature, but with one Hebrew word, a masculine word incorporates anybody who is female as well. So, Achim, how good and how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters sit or dwell yachad together. There's an extra word there. That extra word is gam. It's not gum, but gam. Everybody say gam with me.
Gam.
You can do that. Gam. It's a beautiful Hebrew word that means also. And this whole sentence, this whole phrase would sit perfectly without the word gam. So why include the word gam in there? So when brothers and sisters dwell together, who also dwells with you? Mike, you know this. God dwells with you too. And we allow God to infuse our spirits on this Shabbat, to come into our holy sanctuary, to allow us to get rid of the weak. And I know some of you still have the weak on your mind. Get rid of it. Turn your phones off. Shut down. Shabbat is here. Embrace the moment fully. And it will be amazing to see where this evening takes you. We join in the words of Hine Ma Tov, top of page 10. How good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together.
And sing together as well.
And sing together. Thank you, Hope.
Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Again. Hine ma tov umanayim שבת אחים גם יחד.
Let's join together.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יא לה לי לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יא לה לי לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
As we kick up the energy a little bit, it's Shabbat. Let's get excited for this moment. So with that, it's my honor and my privilege to call up wonderful members of the Kravanic family. And Jake, we are so excited to celebrate your bar mitzvah this weekend. Mazel tov to you. And with that, we're going to call forward your great aunts, Barb, Carol, and Cindy, along with your proud mom, Renee, and your sister, Jill, to light our Shabbat candles. We turn to page 2 in our prayer books, page 2 for our candle blessing.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. So the tune is Hanukkah, but the blessing is Shabbat. It's all good. Hanukkah is coming. Hanukkah is coming. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. So with that, we turn to page 20. And Judaism is so special and so unique. And our prayer, the prayers that you see in this prayer book, are 1,800 years old. Not exaggerating, 1,800 years old. And the powerful piece on page 20 and 21, it's a prayer called Lecha Dodi. Try that with me. Lecha Dodi. And Lecha Dodi actually literally means, beloved, come my bride, come and meet. And there is a beautiful metaphor within Judaism that speaks about the relationship between God and the Jewish people, about a husband and a wife, a relationship that is sacred and beautiful, and that has to be mutual. And in this beautiful prayer, which, by the way, and this is important, that Kabbalat Shabbat, this didn't exist initially. It was created because the mystics of Sfat, how many of you have heard of the Kabbalists? Those who are connected to Jewish mysticism. And this is not the Madonna mysticism, but this is mysticism. Real Kabbalah is that Shlomo Alkabetz, who was one of them, wrote this beautiful prayer. And you know it's his because it's an acrostic. The first letter of all of these stanzas actually spell out his name in Hebrew, Shlomo Alkabetz. But it's a beautiful piece that says, guess what? Are the weeks always kind to us? How many of you have had a wonderful week? Thank God. How many of you have had a perfect week? A couple of us. How many of you have seen challenges this week? How many of you have seen good this week? We all know it's the good and the bad and the ugly that all come together. And the mystics of Sfat, they say, guess what? We know that. We know there's going to be some tough times, but guess what? If you can dust off the ashes, goodness is around the corner. Have faith. If you give yourself up to faith and to God, guess what? It's going to be okay. And that's what this is. This welcomes Shabbat in a beautiful spiritual way that says it's going to be okay. And that's the beautiful piece. If you look at these stanzas, you can see here in verse 4, the beautiful translation, Hit na'ari me'afar kumi. It says, lift yourself up, shake off the dust. Array yourself in beauty, because guess what? Deliverance is coming. But it's only going to happen if what? If you believe. If you have faith. So with that, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, we join together in the words of Lecha Dodi. And the beautiful thing is, if you've never spoken Hebrew ever before in your life, the beauty of our prayer book is that on the right-hand side is the Hebrew, and on the left-hand side on the same page is what's called the transliteration. So if you want to try it. Give it a chance. There's no commitment, we promise. Just a little bit of spirituality and a little bit of faith. We join together, Lecha Dodi, as we welcome Shabbat. Together, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Likrat Shabbat, Yilchu v'nilcha. Verse 2. Ki b'kor ha'baracha. Go, Lecha Dodi, once again. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Verse 5. Hitoreri, Kiva Orech, Umiori, Ori, Ori, Shidaveri, Kavod Adonai, Elayach Nigla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala. As we join in verse 9, we're going to rise together and face the entrance. It's the physical welcoming of Shabbat, which means that not only is the physical act of standing, but that physical act of standing allows us to spiritually welcome in Shabbat. Face front once again. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalah. We turn page 26. Page 26 for the Chatzi Kaddish, as I call for Jake. Jake, this is your moment as you join us and lead us in the Chatzi Kaddish, the Reader's Kaddish, page 26.
Yikad V'kedash Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach hirutei. V'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechonu yomechon. Uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael. Bagala, bagala. Uvizman kariv. V'meru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevora. Ulala meyomaya. Yitbara. Yitbara v'yishtaba. V'yipar v'rumam v'yanasei. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalo. Shemei dekudasha brechu. Le'ein lami kobrata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'ne'emata. Dami hiram b'yoma. V'yimeru. Amen.
Well done, Jake. Well done. Getting us all ready and prepared. The Chatzi Kaddish, and we're going to call Jake up again shortly. The Chatzi Kaddish is a break in the service which lets us know, guess what? We're warmed up, we're ready to go, and therefore we join together in our call to worship the Baruch Hu on page 28. You're allowed to move. If the music moves you, you can move a little bit as well. That's all right.
Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Respond together.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lie, lie,
Words are
lie.
easy.
Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Yalla lie, lie, lie.
You may be seated. If you are a 4th and 5th grader, please come up and join us. Join us at this time, all 4th and 5th graders. If you are here, we know we have a lot of our 4th and 5th graders online. But if you are a 4th and 5th grader, come on and join us. Join us up here. All right. Come and join us right here. We're going to come out right here, everybody. Come and join us. Come on, come on, come on. Jump in the line over here. Because these incredible super kids, and we're so grateful that you are here, because guess what? We know that we got a lot online, and guess what? For all of the kids who are here tonight, there's extra ice cream, obviously, for everyone tonight, because there's ice cream after services tonight. Hope, thank you, as we celebrate our kids. But tonight, you're going to lead us in the words of the Shema, right? Right? How many of you know the Shema? We know you all know the Shema. What is the Shema? The Shema is the watchword of our faith, is what we call it. What does it mean? Shema Yisrael, listen. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. It is the ultimate statement of faith that recognizes God's presence in our lives and within each of our amazing students. And with that, we're going to join together with you. You're going to sing really loud and clear so that we all can hear everybody, but we're going to join together in those words of Shema together. And the other thing that's really important is that as you continue to study and learn and embrace Jewish tradition, the power is that it's not just about listening, because Jake's going to come up in a moment, right, Jake? I know you're ready for the next one, which is Jake's going to lead us in the Via Hafta. And guess what? This is one of those things that is amazing to know. The Shema and the V'ahavta are one prayer together. And why? It says, God, you're there, and then what do we say? V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being. And then what comes next? Guess what comes next, right? For all of our parents, let us teach our children. And what are we teaching our children? What are we learning? What do we need to know? What does Judaism teach us? Anybody? Spontaneous questions. Anybody have an answer? What does Judaism teach us? Give me one thing. Who's got something? Extra ice cream for anybody. What's that? What does Judaism teach us? Can we help them? Can we teach? Somebody's got some. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Our tradition as Jews.
Awesome. Our tradition, which means what? What do we do as Jews? We help to make a difference, right? We do the right thing. We show the world that goodness can happen. We teach, we learn, we study, and we make a difference. We do tikkun olam, acts of love and kindness, as we get out there and repair the world. So, what I want you to just say your first name, right? And then we're going to sing together, right? Go ahead.
Sean.
Jack.
Sebastian.
Daniela.
Mikey.
Lauren.
Jill.
Oh, Jill. Yeah, we got Jill up here, guys. We know. Jill is Jake's sister, so we got this. We got this going on. Ready? 1, 2, ready? Here we go. We'll join together. Yisrael. Eloheinu. Echad. Kivo. Leolam. Vaed. And as we call Jacob, we ask for God to protect all of you. God bless our teachers, all of our teachers here at Kol Emeth under Hope's leadership, who teach all of you to help you understand the beauty of Jewish life. And God bless all of our parents who are here tonight and who are here online, for you being role models of what it means to be faithful, to be committed, and to make a difference in our community. But most of all, God, tonight, bless these amazing, beautiful kids who have embraced this world, who continue to learn. May the learning that you do this year and forever, may it be beautiful. May it inspire you to take this world into your hands and to make it your own, to find your place that you can make a difference too. And may God continue to bless you in the work of your hands, all that you do, and the acts of your heart. May you be blessed as you go on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. And we say together, Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys. You're awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Okay, ready? You ready? We join in the words of the V'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha al yom al levavecha V'shinatam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, b'shivtecha, b'beitecha, uv'lektecha v'aderech, uv'shachbecha, uv'kumecha, uv'shartam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu atotafot bein einecha, uv'tavtam, al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha le'aman tishkelu ve'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'item kidoshim le'lochechem ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher chotzeti dechem, Mieretz Mitzrayim, Leot lachem, Lelohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Untitled Chapter, Emet. God is our God in truth. Well done, Jake. Well done. We are so proud of you and can't wait to celebrate your bar mitzvah tomorrow morning as you hit a home run, but we know you will. And Nate, Mary, a little nachas there, huh? No doubt, no doubt. Mazel tov to all of you. Mike, Renee, mazel tov to you guys. As we continue with our service on page 40, dear friends, life is so sacred. And guess what? Freedom is also sacred. And we say, not only in Judaism, but in our country, that freedom is never free. We have to embrace Judaism. We have to embrace life every single day. At page 40, we join in the words of Mi Chamocha, which is our prayer of freedom. This is from the Song of the Sea, from Shirat Hayam, when the Israelites escaped the Egyptian slavery and they went forth to freedom. But guess what? The word for Egypt in Hebrew is Mitzrayim, which means a dark, narrow place. We all have those in our lives. And guess what? In front of us is the sea, and behind us are the Egyptians at any point in our lives. So the choice is ours. Do we continue to suffer at the hands of slavery, or do we take the risk and go into the water? The answer is clear. Let us all think about where we are in our own lives, what you need to find your own freedom. So if you want, and Jake, I'm going to call on you for this. So Jake, why don't you come forward, because as we sing Mi Chamocha, as we join, we're going to reenact this beautiful moment of freedom. You can put your book down. You're not going to need it. So any other our students who wants to reenact this moment of freedom, come on and join us in a Jewish conga line. So come on, come and join us. Adults, you can join this too. Here we go. Let's celebrate our freedom. Go ahead.
We're gonna do that again. La-las.
Head back to your seats. We thank our adults and our kids. Guess what? That was freedom. Getting up and finding that moment to take a risk and to enter into the world and say, I got this. We can do this. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Blessed are you, dear God, for redeeming Israel. We continue on page 44 with our Shabbat anthem, Vish Shamru, as we thank God for the honor and the beauty of keeping Shabbat. Those who know this, come on, you can do this with us.
Leolam, Oti, Leolam. Adonai, Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, לעשות את השבת בדורתם בריתותם. וביום השביעי שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורתם בריתותם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורתם בריתותם.
That's what we're talking about. We continue with the Amidah, the heart of Jewish prayer, on page 46. This is that moment during the week. There are what's known as the Shmona Esrei, the 18 benedictions. In the middle are called Bakashot, requests from God. Judaism traditionally plays 3 times a day, and the Amidah is our moment to ask God for what we need: strength, courage, forgiveness, redemption, whatever it is in our lives. And in Shabbat, there's only 7. The number of Shabbat, and therefore the number of peace, where we offer our thanks to God. And we know we're human. We know we're going to ask for things. So as we go through the Amidah on these beautiful prayers, let us remember, if you're going to ask for something, begin with gratitude. Think about where you are in your life. Think about your health. Think about the people who sit with you. Think about the support system you may have. Think about Shabbat, just being here, having the moment to reflect on life. So with that, we rise on page 46 for the Amidah. May God open our lips. Sometimes it's hard to actually speak. Let us open our lips and declare God's praise.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Ve'koneh HaKol Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot U'mevi Gula Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לה, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
You may be seated, page 52, the Kedusha of God's holiness.
I think my battery pack died, so just hopefully that'll pick up the guitar there. All right.
אתה קדוש, ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה, אדוני, האל הקדוש. You are holy, and your name is holy. Those who strive to be holy declare your glory day by day. Blessed is our God, blessed is the one, O world ablaze with splendor. אתה קדוש, ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה, אדוני, האל הקדוש. ברוך אתה, אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue through the Amidah, the rest of our prayer silently. You can feel free to use the words on the page or the prayers of your own hearts, and we'll come back together on page 62. So feel free to continue silently. Page 62, words of Oseh Shalom. As we bring peace into our world, the bottom of 62.
Oseh Shalom bimrumav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל,
May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel and all who inhabit the earth, and let us say it together. Amen. Page 253. We pause for a few moments as we think about those in need of healing in our world. Here in our community this evening, we think of Donnie Price, Jackie Falconer, Lisa Oppenheim, Eyal Ben Audrey, Ray Clark, Nancy Shallett, Barbara Savrin, Max Gans, Elaine Bridges, Sherry Rosenblum, Lisa Prince Rutsky, Erin Hess Fisher, Howie Levner, Kathy Rasnick, Lowell Morrow, John Garcia, Arthur Newman, Cindy Beaupre, Harry Mix, Lisa Macklin, Marilyn Krasnov, Judith Siegel, Esther Greenwald, Jack Mendel, Murray Perloff, Athena Pickett, Jill Shepard, Abby Gabilev, Daniel Cohn, Marlene Kaplan, Norman Rosenblatt, Barry Rosenblatt, Nancy Cohen, Denny Jua, Lori Sherman, Phil Berg, Dennis Baser, Edith Eckber, Roberto Mebisher, Ellen Luster, Lee Sexton, Maxine Buccarelli, Gloria Goldsmith, Marilyn Mix, Edith Ridner, Sandy Fay, Piper Lyman, Margaret Meehan, Dr. Mary Watkins, Philip Kaufman, Sean Dickerson, Dee Singer, Catherine Furch, Gail Greenberg, Bruce Cohen, Gary Rush, Betty Shaw, Jerry Goldshine, Doris Turkle, Helene Holtzman, Wayne Wilson, Bobby Hall, Dr. Howard Yeager, Dr. Cliff Zirkin, Carol Silver, Sudan Granary, Pat and Mark Fisher, Ed Sheps, Gail Greenberg. If there are any other names at this time, please feel free to share them as we go around the sanctuary. I'm used to this, Rachel. It's like, right. On live stream, we are thinking about you. Please offer those names out loud, wherever you are in your homes. As we join together with all those who have COVID, who are hoping for a healing of body and of spirit, we join in the words of Debbie Friedman's Misha Barak, the middle of page 253.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Barak Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, dear God, who heals the sick, and let us say together, Amen. If you prayed for someone this evening, give them a call. Let them know that a congregation was thinking about them in their time of need, hoping for their healing. It's always a comfort to know that you're not alone in your time of need. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Now, some of you who heard that at the beginning knew to speak up a little bit, because it's important to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. And I want to just come out a little bit and speak a little bit to all of us tonight. And Jake, you know this portion very well this week. What's this week's portion? Nice job, Rabbi. Appreciate it. So we know what this is about. The portion's called what? Noah. And we know that we see the words of Noah. We actually have a beautiful, these are all original stained glass. For those of you who haven't been to our sanctuary before, and the story of Noah as beautifully articulated on these stained glass windows behind us. And something that we know the story of Noah. And for our kids, what is the story of Noah? You know, what is it? What is the story that we're talking about that's so famous? Sam? It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and this week it felt like 40 days and 40 nights in our area, and it's amazing how every year it seems to rain during this time of year, as we're about to read from Noah. But what is this story? Why did it rain for 40 days and 40 nights? Don't be bashful. What's the story? What's the story? How did this all happen? Go ahead, tell us. Good. God was mad at the people, okay? Why was God mad at the people? What happened? You know what? What we know is there's one word in this portion. Do you remember it? What's the word in Hebrew? Thank you, Mike. Mike, go ahead and say it. Hamas. And if you know that word, right? That word should sound familiar. It's the name of the terrorist organization, Hamas. It's actually the same word that we hear in our portion this week. And it's translated commonly as lawlessness, right? And it could be any range of things. But God absolutely was right. It was upset. But remember, we're in Noah. So just last week in our Torah, what do we read? We hear about creation, right? This whole new world is created, and yet, so soon after, what happens? And remember, it's somewhat timeless in Torah, so it's not clear exactly how many years it was later, but we know that the world was chaos once again. And God said enough. And does it take a lot, would you think, for God to destroy God's own creation? Right? I have a hard enough time, and my son doesn't, but hard enough time taking apart a Lego project after you finish it, right? How many of you have ever seen that challenge in your home, right? No doubt, no doubt. So, God's about to destroy the world. And what does God do? Say, I'm going to bring about a flood. But I'm not going to destroy everybody. Why? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Who am I going to keep around? Sebastian? I'm going to keep animals, right? How many animals? Right. So we have 2 by 2, right? Some of you know that song when we were little, right? 2 by 2 of certain animals, and 7 by 7, by the way, of other animals. It's also in the Torah. You didn't know about the 7 by 7s, did you? There's 2 by 2s and 7 by 7s, right? And who else, Sebastian? Who's the human being? Noah. Noah and his family are going to get saved, right? And Sarah knows all about this, right? Sarah, tell us, what's going to happen? What does he tell Noah to do? What does God tell Noah to do? Well, he tells them that there's a flood coming, but what doesn't he do? He's out there building this huge gargantuan boat, right? Does he invite them to come on? No. So imagine this happening, and you know this is going to happen. You're building an ark and your next door neighbors. It's nice to know you. We love living next door to you, but we're going to take off. Good luck to you. Right? So Noah actually, who's known as the righteous one in his generation, but it's a generation of what? Of Hamas, of lawlessness. So if you thought this person was bad, you should see his brother, right? One was worse than the next. Noah goes off on the boat, and there's something interesting that happens. Something interesting that happens. And Jake will read this tomorrow morning in his Torah portion, is that there's an instruction from Moses. You know these words. Sohar, right? Right? Sohar, ta'aseh, la teva, right? The el, ama, right? I'm not going to make you do it right now. Make an opening, and this is the translation for daylight, and I'm just going to put this out there for a moment, everyone, that we don't really know what Sohar means. But God says, make an opening for daylight and terminate it within a cubit at the top. By the way, that's a measurement, right? A certain measurement at the top. Put the entrance to the ark at its side. Make with it bottom, second, and third decks, right? So it's going to be a multiplex, if you will, right? But Sohar is interesting. And many commentaries don't actually know what Sohar means. Say that word with me. Sohar. Okay? But the commentaries agree it's a source of light or illumination. What does illumination mean? Adults, kids, what does illumination mean? If something's illuminated, it's bright, right? So it could be physical, right? Or it could also be metaphoric. So what is something that is a metaphoric illumination? What could that be? What illuminates our lives? Knowledge. I love that. Who said that? Thank you. Awesome. Well done. So knowledge illuminates us, doesn't it? How does knowledge illuminate us? I'll push back a little bit. I love the answer, but how does knowledge illuminate us? We learn truth, right? What else? Growth. That it allows us to grow, right? What else? What's that? We understand more of the world, Frank. Exactly right. What's that? Integrity. Wow. You're on to. So whatever it is, this Sohar is created somewhere in the ark, and it's actually not really clear. Sort of, we know it's the entrance to the ark is going to be in its side, and there's going to be different floors, but this Sohar, it just says simply, provide a place for this. Haha, thank you. So the rabbis, thank you, Rabbi. We have a lot of rabbis here tonight. Because the Baal Shem Tov, who is one of the brightest of the Hasidic rabbis, said this, that Sohar is an opening for light, that everything should be illuminated with clarity. But here's the power of it, which is Rashi, who is one of the French medieval commentaries, he says the following, is that there's two types of meanings that they argued over. One was that it was a window, right? Because when would we have illumination then? During the day, and at night it would soften and darken, right? But here's what they said, and I love that answer, because the other meaning, some say that it was a precious stone that gave light, which is interesting in itself. What is that precious stone? And that's where the Baal Shem Tov goes on to say this, that the ark in Hebrew is called teva, but that word has two meanings. It can mean an ark, it also can mean a word. One should be careful to bring light into the words that come from your lips. How do what we say and what we do, how can we illuminate the world? There's a story that goes like this. There was once a wealthy man with 3 sons. He wanted to give all of his riches only to the cleverest of his sons. And so he set them to a task to prove their intelligence. He showed them a barn on his estate and challenged the sons to take a turn trying to fill the barn to the fullest. Whoever best succeeded in this task would win the inheritance. The eldest son worked hard gathering rocks and pebbles of all shapes and sizes and filled the barn from the floor to the roof. His father was impressed with the effort, but he noticed that there were many cracks in between the rocks and stones. The second son used straw and packed the barn from floor to ceiling with it. However, his father still found tiny spaces and pockets of air between the straw. When the turn of the younger son came, any youngest children here? This one's all for you. When the youngest son came, he took his father by the hand and led him into the empty barn. His father became very upset that he had not taken the challenge seriously. But at that moment, the son took a small candle and he lit it. What happened? It illuminated what? It illuminated the entire barn. And there was light everywhere, from the floor to the roof, corner to corner, in every nook and cranny with light. Think about that for a moment. That is Zohar. The brightness, the source of illumination. And for the Jewish community, it's the Torah that illuminates us, that gives us that light to share with the world. So the question is, does it come solely from within or from outside of us? Where does Zohar come from? Anybody? Any thoughts? Why, Elise? Why? Tell us more. Right. So we can illuminate others, right? But can that others do that to us as well? The question is then, if we can illumine and others can illumine, where is the source? So we can light that candle, and what happens? We can shine light in the world. So whatever source allows us to be that illumination, for Jews it's the Torah, for others it's other things. But in that ark, how many days did they spend there, Sam? 40 days and 40 nights. How many of you have ever been on a boat for 40 days and 40 nights? Guess what? It can be sometimes scary, right? And this is a flood that lasted 40 days and 40 nights. So what are you thinking if you're Noah and his family? Well, not only when will it end, but will it end, right? Will we what? Will we survive? So what do you need to know? You need to have hope, which means you need to have what? Zohar, light. And here's the beautiful thing, is that the word Zohar is what created the name of the mystical book called the Zohar, which was about the secrets of the world that illumines us all. So the challenge as we enter into this Shabbat is that where is our Zohar? What illumines us in the face of darkness, in the face of challenge, in the face of the metaphoric floods that come? For our students, there's so much that challenges you today. Where is your source of light? Where is your source of strength and illumination? How do you find it? And who can you bring in to help you that will light up your world? And for adults, how many of you have ever lived in a stranger time in your life? Not at all, right? Our job is to find that Zohar, to find that illumination, that source of light and strength. As we light that candle, we become the light for others too. And with that, that is the challenge for this Shabbat. How will you share your light? How will you find your source? How will you continue to be lit and motivated and inspired to make a difference? That is our challenge. I wish you all good luck on finding and keeping that Zohar close to your heart. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So with that, let us find more of that hope in the world. So we turn to page 282 in our prayer books, 282, which is the words of Aleinu, as we hope on that day God's name shall be one in this world would be so much better as we work to the Taken Olam B'Malchut Shaddai, to repair the world in the name of God as we rise. Second paragraph, page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 287.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. As we turn to page 291, as we are illumined by the words of Chana Senesh, Yesh Kol Chavim, there are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, but their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Yesh Kol Chavim. There are stars up above. As we turn to page 294, we remember all of those loved ones that we've lost, whose anniversary of death falls this week. We think of Blanche Surwater, F. Robert Brooks, Isaac Metelsky, Jerry Tates, Jessica Feldman, Jill Suki, Joyce Kacher, Lillian Greisman, Linda Weintraub, Lorraine Diamond, Marvin Greenwald, Maynard Kagan, Rhoda Eisner, Robbie Patterson, Ruth Aronson, Sylvie Alexander, Walter Alina, and Betty Benowitz. And we think of those who died in this past year: Vera Frisch, Kedman Velez, Jack Gillette, Alice Gillette, Bob Jarek, Gene Hull, Mickey Reynolds, Jimmy Hess, Joyce Harris, Gerald Yablin, Martha Light, Jeffrey Kalika, Harold Schlanger, Esther Reckman, Alan Stiefel, Marilyn Natkin, Louise Krakowitz, Bo Anderson, Irma Schiller, Jane Jason, Louis Rothstein, Elaine Boehner, Ruth Kurtz, Amnon Offentier, Marilyn Kendrick, David Rosenthal, Dr. Murray Arkin, Larry Sheps, Kevin Skoog, Jason Mark Levy, Barbara Fleet, Ira Zimmerman, Teddy Landau, Janet Katz, Gary Landau, Julie Diamond, J. Piesick, Bart Allen Siegel, Ross Capstein, Morris Almela, Victoria Levy Stolzberg, Yehuda Fadlin. Rachel, we sit there and send our prayers to you and your family. As well as recently, on behalf of the Kravanik family, Jackson, Van Est, and Angie Kiesley. Remember all of them with loving memory. If you have a name this evening that you'd like to share that you're remembering, please feel free to call out that name as we go once again around the sanctuary. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Aggie. Take all those in our hearts with our own. Along with all of the 6 million of our martyred brothers and sisters that perished in the Shoah and the Holocaust, as well as all the men and women who have given their lives and continue to give their lives in defense of the state of Israel, as well as these United States. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing as we rise together as one community, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah. Yalmad yavrach erotei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, bagalau v'izman kariv, v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam mulal mei almaya, yiparach v'yishtabach, yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha, b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush b'chata v'nechamata, ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael, Imru, Amen. Osei Shalom b'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, Imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. You may be seated. It is my honor to call forward the president of our congregation, Jody Roberts, to make a few announcements at this time.
Good evening and good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
First, I want to welcome the Kravanik family and friends and congratulate and mazel tov to Jacob. He's going to do a great job tomorrow, as is evidenced by this evening. Good luck, and we wish you very well. We know that your parents are proud of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, even if you do have some Devil Ray fans in your family. Anyway, and also welcome to everybody that's streaming in this evening as well. I would like to say, before I start the traditional announcements, I would like to acknowledge a good friend, colleague, and congregant who was recognized today as a diamond provider by the Emory Healthcare System. That would be Allison Schlanger. She was in the top 1% of all providers who were achieving the 99th percentile. Yeah, that's great, that's great. Who's in the 99th percentile within her specialty. She is in neurology, and the survey question that got her there was the likelihood of being recommended as a provider to others. And so I'm very proud of her. I'm thrilled that she received that, and I just wanted to share that. In doing so, I wanted to remind everybody that if you know of anyone who has been honored, recognized, or acknowledged in some way that you would like us to share, please let us know. Let the office know, give us a call, email me, and we would love to be able to share that information with our community. Okay, and now for the announcements. If you have a pet, we are having our blessing for the pets on Sunday, directly after Sunday school. Please join Rabbi Cernovitz and bring your pet, who hopefully will be well behaved and not get away from their leash like ours did last year. We're still going to bring them, though. There are a ton of activities going on for our youth. Please take a look at the website. Everything I say this evening is going to refer to look at the website, because that's where you'll find all the detailed information. But we have a lot going on with our youth activities, and thank you to Lauren Davis, who's leading all of those events. Don't forget, our TKE meet and greet is on Sunday, October 24th at 12:30 following religious school. Also, on October 24th, we'll be having a blood drive too. So please do a mitzvah and come out if you're able and donate some blood. Don't forget, the gift shop is open before services. And something that's special to me is root on TKE's barbecue team, Noah's Bark, at the Kosher Barbecue Festival that's coming up soon. That will be October 17th. 11 to 3 p.m. at Brookwood Park in Dunwoody. And looking forward to that. I will be out there because my husband will be participating in that, so come eat some good barbecue. WRJ would like you to know about their Flower Power. You have an opportunity to make a difference and grow flowers, so you can purchase some fall-planted bulbs and also help the TKE TKE's Women of Reform Judaism. Purchases need to be made by October 15th. And WRJ is also honoring Denise Jacobs and Karen Manley at their Yes Fund luncheon on October 17th. Again, please see the website for any details and any information. And that's it. Oh, yes, thank you, sorry. Hope wanted me to remind everybody that's here that, that participated in the Sadakabat artistic activity, that they are here. They're outside in the lobby on the table, so please don't forget to pick those up. Okay, thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you very much. And Jacob, we're going to call you forward it's my honor to call forward Frank Mix, representing our Board of Trustees, to present you some special gifts at this time. So Jacob, you can leave your prayer book. Just join us up here.
So take the mask first of all, I want to say congratulations to you, Mazel Tov, to Mike, Renee, your entire family. I think you're all very proud of Jake, as you should be, and as the entire congregation is. You were just fantastic this evening, and I know you'll do great tomorrow. And I couldn't help thinking that your passion of baseball and all the practice that's required to get precise is like perfect training for your bar mitzvah, which is also leads you right into your career goal of being a pilot. And I just want to say that someday I look forward to getting on an airplane, Delta maybe, and I hear you calling us out saying, I'm going to get you to that destination safely, and I'll have total confidence in the fact that that's going to come to be. So with that, I have a list of what the gifts are, otherwise I wouldn't remember. So from the, some of them I know. The men's club gift, I'm part of that. You can get a necklace. From the bottom gift here is a Kiddush cup from WRJ, our women's group, and from the synagogue, a Bible and a book called The J Guy's Guide, which is a GPS for Jewish teen boys. So I'm going to give you those gifts, and I just want to say a couple other words, which are before you get to be that pilot, right? You know, you've accomplished your bar mitzvah, and I hope you'll continue with the religious programs at TKE, because I think, first of all, you'll get a lot out of it. You've done sort of the drudgery work, which is to learn all the Hebrew, learn the prayers. It's hard to do. You have to memorize. And then you get to explore the bigger questions. What is it to be a good person? What is it to be a good son, a good brother, a good friend? What does all that mean, and how do I do all those things? And talk to your peers about all that. And not only will you get a lot out of it, but I have no doubt that you also have a lot to contribute to that, and we need you in that. You have a lot to give, and I look forward to, you know, just all the great things you're going to do and getting on that plane one day with you. So Mazel Tov. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frank. And did you notice that they wore matching suits tonight? I'm so impressed. You coordinated, there's no doubt, Frank. But Jake, we look forward to continuing your Jewish studies here at Kol Emeth and being the mensch that we know you are. As we head to our conclusion of our service, I do want to mention and just share a quick update with our community. For those of you who have been following, those who are on live stream, as well as those in person, you've been following the ongoings of the challenges within the Cobb County school system with anti-Semitism acts at our local high schools, the swastikas and the Heil Hitlers and things that have happened here in our community. What I want to update our community on are a couple really important developments. One, which is I've had several meetings with the school board president, Randy Scammahorn. In fact, this morning he was here at Kol Emeth with a meeting with myself as well as Allison Padilla-Goodman of the Anti-Defamation League, who is the president of the Southeast region, and who also joined us, Rabbi Dorsch from Eitz Chaim. And the hope is shortly, as we worked on a resolution, which the school board will be issuing, hopefully, as we can get all school board members to vote for it. As in Cobb County, all members of the school board have to vote, has to be unanimous. To be honest, anybody who votes against a resolution condemning anti-Semitism and racism needs to be called on the table. So just putting it out there. So any school board member who happened to be live streaming with us tonight, please, we ask that you support a resolution on the school board condemning anti-Semitism and racism. It's a very well-crafted, beautiful resolution, and it also calls for the district to begin to proactively deal with this, which means teacher training, which means an update in the curriculum. It means updated policies to take care of students and teachers. And all of this is incredibly important to protect and make sure that all Jewish students, as well as all students, have a safe place to go to school here in Cobb County. I will say, and I can't say too much beyond what I'm about to say, because much of the conversation is still pretty sensitive at the moment. but for all of our Jewish teachers who teach in Cobb County. So not only members of our community, but any of our Jewish teachers who are listening on live stream as well. This is also open to non-members of Kol Emeth who happen to be Jewish teachers in Cobb County. There will be 2 meetings that will be held, 2 town hall meetings, one here at Kol Emeth and one at Eitz Chaim, which will be updating all of our teachers on what's happening in the developments and how we're continuing to support them. I can't say much more than that. All I will say is that we've had several meetings with the school district, and we have some important updates to give you. So we encourage, if you are a Cobb County school teacher who happens to be Jewish or know somebody who is, because unfortunately, and we'll always welcome you home if you are Jewish and don't have a home, a synagogue to call home, please come here. We're happy to welcome you. But we have some important updates, and we urge you to attend. The dates will be released shortly here at Kol Emeth as well as at Eitz Chaim. Please come and join us for very, very important updates on things that are happening, developments in talks with the school district. What I can say is we are very hopeful that things will change. And we thank everyone in our community for your continued support. So with that, let's head to our closing song as we call Hope Back Forward. And Hope, we just want to thank you for all that you're doing for our community with our education program. Just to know that our numbers are at a recent high, and we have many new students in our school. Our school continues to grow under Hope's leadership, so thank you for all you do. And Lauren Davis for our youth program, that's amazing. Danielle, thanks for the shout out to Lauren. We appreciate that. So as we close, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, as we hope for peace in our world, followed by our priestly blessing as we bless our community, and then out for our own egg, and there is ice cream available for all.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Don't be shy. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam again. Salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Page 301, page 301, Kiddush. Al Kain Barach Adonai et Yom HaShabbat Vayikadshehu. Therefore Adonai bless the day of Shabbat and hallowed. Adonai Eloheinu Olam Borei. Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim. Just making sure. Right. We turn the next page for Motzi. Motzi.
We give thanks to God for bread. Our
Voices
rise in song
together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. See, let Amen. hear that? He said it still tastes the best. Well done, Jake. Thank you, my friend. So we rise together for our final benediction, our final blessing. Jake. As we channel our inner priest, our inner Leonard Nimoy, if you will, we hold up our hands together and we bless each other. And the priestly blessing gives love to all who are around us and hopes that God will bless us together. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God shine upon you and be gracious and kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always shine upon you and grant you the most precious gift, the gift of shalom, the gift of peace. And we say together, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Ice cream, oneg, right out the door. Mazel tov, everyone. Thank you.